destiny. You mess with me, you best believe you're gonna get the horn. Trying to get the best of me with ecstasy. Been teaching all along, cause we're here in the 21st century. DJ with a metaverse memory. The gods are born, and you will see every story needs a little conflict. Fuck with the bulls and eights, so I'm feeling kinda great. Staying up late, living like a DJ. Fuck with the bulls and eights, so I'm feeling kinda great. Staying up late, living like a DJ. Metaverse and on the weekend, living like a DJ. Metaverse and on the weekend. Fuck with the bulls and eights, so I'm feeling kinda great. Staying up late, living like a DJ. Fuck with the bulls and eights, so I'm feeling kinda great. Staying up late, living like a DJ.
Living like a
What's
DJ.
up?
Woo! What's going on? Hey, hey, happy Tankonomics Tuesday, everybody.
I know. I'm excited. I feel like I missed a week. Oh, wait a minute. I did miss a week, didn't I? I was out having fun.
What?
You guys held down the fort. Marcus, thanks, brother, for holding down the fort with her crypto. I appreciate it. But I'm ready to get back because there's been so much crazy stuff. Oh, my God. I can't believe it.
I know.
Too much stuff to talk about.
So much stuff has been going on. So much stuff has happened. We've had such a great time. And I know you were having a really fun time at the IRL God Bowl event. But I mean, I don't know about everyone else. I'm going to speak for myself. I had a really great time and I had a lot of fun too. So we missed you. It wasn't the same, but we had a good time.
That's good. Oh, I'm glad. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, it was tough. I had to go, race a Porsche around a racetrack and go throw some axes and have some cool food and hang out with some great community members. But you know what? It was all good. I'm glad to be back. A little break in the monotony was fun, but time to get back to business because we got so much to talk about. I don't even know where to start. Weird worlds, community tokenization, all this craziness happened literally right before I left. And so, yeah, man, talk about going crazy places with our project and being weird. This is going to be absolutely amazing.
It is. We have so much happening. It's so exciting. I'm I just like I'm like so happy first of all that it's finally a lot of it is here and we've announced it. So now we can talk about it because it's been kind of like this, oh my gosh, so exciting. We've been saying we want to tell oh my gosh, we can't wait to tell you guys. And so now it's like, oh, I feel like I can breathe a little bit. And there's still more stuff to come, but like at least with these a few announcements, Weird Worlds announcement, that was a big one. So it's super exciting. Lots of new ideas, community tokenization, way new different strategies for methane token accumulation. I mean, now we've got all different kinds of ideas, depending on which NFTs you hold, if you're holding tokenized communities, so much happening. So um anyone in the audience, first of all, it's real quick before we jump into all the strategy. If you didn't get a chance while we were listening to our Living Like a DJ song, that's one of our BAP songs there. Retweet the room, let people know that that we're here. Tank's back. We're going to talk strategy, tokenomics, everything you need to know about methane token, the BAP universe, community tokenization, and a little bit of weird worlds. But bottom right, that chat bubble, you actually have to click it twice. You got to click it, and then you have to like click retweet again to be able to let people know we're here and live.
What a
So
pain in the butt.
I know it's so annoying. It's like, oh my gosh, can we please bring the blue plus sign back? But we definitely want to do that. And then, of course, this is Tankonomics Tuesday. We talk all things bulls and apes, like we said, methane token strategy, and answer your questions and hear your strategies. Because I always learn something new. We always learn, like it's every show. I feel like we have someone say, like, "Oh, I'm going to do this thing," and we're like, "Oh, that's a good idea."
Yeah, I
So
know.
please, oh, so hit the
No, I'm
request
sorry.
button. No, you're good. I was gonna tell. Yeah, hit the request button on the bottom left there, and we'll bring you up on stage and come hang out and party with us. Okay, Tank, go ahead. What was it?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I would love to start getting some questions because we're tokenizing communities. We tokenized 3 amazing communities: Non-Code Ducks, Bubblegum Kids, and Lazy Lions. And so it's super cool to see the communities going in and harvesting and claiming their meth. And yeah, they're getting this in their wallets. They're probably thinking, okay, now what am I going to do with this? So it's going to be super cool to start talking about the opportunities that are right around the corner, opportunities that we have now, things to come in the near future. I mean, just so much stuff. But let's start from the beginning. Let's just give a quick rundown of who we are, what we're doing here, what the Bulls and Apes is, and then we'll start getting into some of that fun stuff. So, Bulls and Apes Project 10,000 NFT, amazing 3D project. We minted starting in May 31st of this year. If you're new to the space, minted out in 67 hours. It was awesome. Our bulls, the OG Genesis bulls, generate 10 methane tokens per day. Some of them generate 15. We'll get into that a little bit later here, but for all intents and purposes, they're generating 10 methane tokens per day for doing nothing but holding them in your wallet. It's a hold and earn strategy. You hold it, you come to our website, you claim it, you get this cool ERC20 token. What do you do with the ERC20 tokens? It's a great question. We do lots of cool things. One of the amazing things that we're doing is we're minting free NFTs. The NFTs are being minted with just the methane token that you're holding. That's it. That's all you need to do. It's super cool. So 600 methane tokens, you can mint yourself an incubator. Another 600 methane tokens, you're minting yourself a teen bowl. 1,200 methane tokens, you get yourself a free teen. It's super awesome. I actually looked her crypto. We're down to only 3,547 teens to be minted. Crazy.
Wow. Oh my goodness. 40, you said 4,700?
3,547.
3,547. 3,500. Okay. 3,500.
3,547
Those
token. Yeah, so
47 and we'll get those 47 are going to get minted tomorrow just from Lou alone if he gets in there and decides to mint some teens.
I know between Lou and CZ, but we've been noticing they've been minting at about a rate of 100 to 110 teens a day. I think is about what the average is right now. So I'm sure that it's probably going to pick up. Once we get closer to mint out, we saw that with the God Bulls, which the God Bulls was also another amazing mint that we had in our project. The God Bulls are super cool. 500 in the collection. Those were minted in the same fashion. You minted, use your free ERC20 token, methane token. You claimed it. You minted teen bulls. There was a very cool sacrificing requirement where you sacrifice your teen bulls in order to level up to a God bull. But what's really cool about the God bulls is they've been selling for like 3 ETH. Unbelievable. I was looking at that the other day, and it's crazy to think that a free NFT is selling for 3 ETH right now. That was just acquired less than 2 months ago, right?
Yeah, it is pretty great for those people that were able to go through the tokenomics, do the hold to earn, and collect the methane token, mint the teens, mint the merger orb, and get a God Bowl. And then now you turn around and you're able to sell it for 3 ETH possibly. That is a real to me, that's a win. That's a win.
Yeah, no, it's a total win. And that's what I love about our project the most is, our holders being able to realize value in these really cool additional NFTs that they're minting. I love it. And it's fun game. My value is the collection part. I'm diamond handing. I have a hard time selling anything, but I love the art. I love the opportunities, and that's where we get into strategy, right? It comes into strategy what you want to do in our project. You have this ERC20 token that you're utilizing to mint NFTs, but our community is also seeing realized value with the ERC20 token because other community members are wanting to use it to play the game. Some are realizing that value in our trading corner and Discord, getting in there and trading this thing. I don't even know what it's trading for lately. I think it's almost like 15 cents a token or something like that, right? It's crazy.
Oh, I know. I do not have a clue. That's one thing I'm so bad about because I don't sell any of my token. I don't trade it or do it. I only use it to mint teens
I know.
or hold it.
And we can't save to save our life, right? Even though I've been talking about that for months.
Yeah.
But yeah, so with these cool ERC20 tokens that our BAP community is earning, they're able to play that game. Now, somebody in the outside communities that are being tokenized may be asking, well, what am I going to get to use that ERC20 token for? And we have the same uses. I had mentioned that through the process of the gamification, you actually mint with 2 OG bulls an incubator, and with that incubator, you can then mint yourself a team bull. Those incubators are NFTs as well, and we see in our Bulls and Apes project utilities collection that people are actually selling the incubators. So there's an opportunity to acquire an incubator, and then with methane token that you're saving, if you're from a tokenized community, you can mint yourself one of these really cool teens. What's cool about that is, and I know the incubator's pricing right now. I think it's somewhere around the floor price of a teen, but you never know what you're going to get. We have 3,500 teens that are still left to be minted, and we've got a wide range of different traits and rarities. We still have Red out there that hasn't been minted yet. He's a 101. I know that a lot of our community is eagerly awaiting to see who's going to be lucky enough to mint that guy. So that's going to be a race to that one. But yeah, there's always a path into our project, and if that's a desire, you can take that methane token and acquire one of the incubators, and you can mint yourself an NFT and roll the dice and see if you get something that is rare and has some really cool traits. There's also the ability to acquire teens off the floor or in our collection or OG bulls, all of which are earning methane tokens. But we should probably talk about that because I think most of our current holders are playing the game very well. They understand the process of minting teens. If we have anybody in the audience that's thinking about, hey, I'm thinking about buying into this project and I'd love to see how I mint teens. Well, if you're looking at OG bulls on the floor, OG bulls are what you need to mint those incubators and teens, and they have to have breedings. So if you have any questions on that, hit me up. If you want to come up and ask some questions, we can dive into that. But we've got so much to talk about with the other. I'd like to just jump right into the tokenization of the teens and what they're generating, and then into communities. What do you think? You got any questions there, Crypto?
No, I don't. Just a really quick on that. When you're shopping, there's two things you can do. Just 2 seconds. I'm gonna pump in a little um, humble brag for our dev team. I know they would do it if they were here. So one, we've got trait ranks. So when you're talking about the OG bulls, the teen bulls, all these different things, it's super important. If you want to check out our website, bullsandapesproject.com, we have under there under the menu at the top, there's trait ranks. That is this special site that we designed because of the traits of our bulls. There are so many different traits and so many things. We needed something that could accurately reflect their different rarity because the rarity tools out there were not accurate to what we weighted things on. Also, because our devs control it, we're able to add in things where you're able to sort by different amount of methane token that's on the bull or amount of breedings, or there's different ways you can sort when you're in there shopping. Now it does update about every hour. It's not instantaneous. It's not up to the second. And so it's been something that we've talked about for a while. We've tried to show people how you could go into the contract and you could verify as you're shopping if this bull had its three breedings or not, etc. Well, just this past week, or I'm like, it's Friday already. No, it's only Tuesday. Just yesterday, I'm like,
I,
just this past week. It feels like it's been 7 days already. But just yesterday, we finally released. We have a on command bot in our Discord, so you can go in there and you can command any bull by the ID number and instantly get the amount of methane token and the amount of breedings he has. So that's a super cool new release. And
yeah.
shout out mad props to our devs.
Yeah, that's really cool. Again, it's important, right? And I know that we had some amazing community members that stepped up to create a tool while we were working through all the other things. Our devs are working long hours because we keep throwing them new stuff every time we turn around. So they were finally able to circle around and get to this tool, but our community members had stepped up and done something very similar, so we really appreciate them for doing that. And it's about the community working together, making sure that you're getting the best benefit when you're shopping for this NFT, because we have this gamification. And if part of your plan is to just acquire the OG bull to get the tokens and have a cool rare bull, that's cool. But if you want to play the game, then you definitely want to look to see if it's got breedings. The other important thing is in order to breed teens, you have to have two bulls of the same guild. So our entire collection is divided by guilds: north, south, east, and west. And it's explained in our lore. We'll talk about that in a bit as well. But the guilds are important because you have to have bulls of the same guild in order to breed and mint that incubator then to get to the teen bull. So if you're shopping and you want to pick up a couple OG bulls, look for breeds, making sure they have their three breeds. Like her crypto said, you can jump in our Discord. They got an on-command bot now that will verify that. And then double check and make sure that they're of the same guild if that's your goal in our project. And if you do that, you're going to mint yourself three teens by just holding those two OGs. Now, I don't know if there's enough time with just two OGs to be able to collect the amount of meth you would need, because you're going to only collect 20 meth per day, 600 meth in a month. It won't quite get you there, so you may need to go into the trading corner and scrounge up some meth from some of the people that are selling it in there, which is always an option. So that way you could get to that minting those teens if you want. But there's a lot of different strategies and options in our project, and a lot of different ways to get to these goals. So yeah, it's really cool. But let's talk about what our teens are generating. And we mentioned our OGs. So they're generating 10 methane token per day. Now, I had said in the very beginning that most of them are minting 10 tokens per day. Actually, I don't even know if it's most now. I look at my collection. I think over half of mine is minting 15. But what we did was about halfway into our project, we saw that the community was minting out all of their teens. They were minting the incubators. So as I said, each of these OG bulls have 3 breedings apiece. So once you pair them up and you mint your 3 incubators, they go down to 0 breeds. And they still have a value because they still generated the meth, the 10 meth. But I know that I had some community looking at that and going, wow, we'd really like to, maybe have some additional utility with that. Or is there something we can do about this to make these a little more desirable? And we agreed. We thought that that was important. So we actually increased the meth generation for bred out bulls to 15 methane tokens per day. So if you are holding a bull in your wallet and you breed it out to get those incubators, you're going to earn 15 meth per day instead of 10. Or if you're in the shopping mood and maybe the game for you isn't minting teens, but you want to collect that methane, then maybe you want to look for a bull that is 0 breeds, that has no breedings left, because that bull is going to generate 15 methane tokens per day instead of that 10. So that's another strategy that you can use if you're looking at picking up an OG bull on the floor, and what you pick up as far as what breedings it has left, and how many methane token it's generating. So as we got into the project, we also decided to tweak some things related to methane generation and teens. Now, our teens initially never created methane. We felt that we were probably going to bring that utility to the teens at some part in our project, and some part in the game. But as we started developing other things that we were releasing, like Weird Worlds and our upcoming 8 mint that we've got, we understood that methane was going to be important to get it into the ecosystem. So we looked at ways to be able to do that. And with thinking about that, and then listening to our community about ideas that they had, we went back to the drawing board, and we realized that we have these cool god bulls, and they mint or claim 20 methane tokens per day. But we always wanted to add additional utility, and we thought, what better way to add utility than to give our god bulls a little bit of power over our project? Let's let them have a little control over the gamification, all of our holders that hold god bulls. So our god bulls generate power. And when I said power, I meant literally. The god bulls generate power, and within 15 to 30 days, they're going to have a power bar that increases to 100%. Once that power bar reaches 100%, utilizing again 600 methane token, because methane is the lifeblood of our economy, you can mint these additional free NFTs that provide utilities to the teen bulls. So the god bulls have this influence over the teen bulls, which is super cool. The 3 utilities are pretty amazing. I'll go through them really quick. The first utility is the utility to replenish. So if you had an OG bull as an example, and it was 0 breeds, but you did still want to earn or be able to mint some free teens, you could take this replenishment and replenish your OG bull with breedings and be able to create additional incubators to mint those teen bulls, which was really cool. The second utility was resurrection. Now, one of the things I should note is, as I said earlier, all of our bulls are divided by guilds: north, south, east, and west. Same thing for our gods. So when the gods are generating these god powers and these additional NFTs, they're all guild specific. So if you have a north god and you mint yourself a north replenishment, it's going to only be effective with a north OG bull. The same thing with this resurrection. The resurrection was super cool because through our process of minting god bulls, we had to sacrifice or burn teens. So our teen collection, when we're all done, said and done, and we've completed minting it out, we'll have 9,000 teens in our collection. But in order to play the game, you had to have burned 5 teens in order to summon a god bull. That was part of the requirements for leveling up. So in order to do that, we had to create a collection of 12,450 teens, which means that we have 3,450 teens that were going to be burned in the process of creating the God Bowl, that additional NFT, our plan always from the very beginning was to never do anything with those burned teens. We were going to burn those teens and they were going to be gone and burned out of the contract forever. But as we started looking at what our community was doing, some people were so playing the game that they were burning some amazing traits, rainbows. I saw a couple gold body teens that got burnt because their strategy was to get to the God Bowl, and they didn't really care what the teen bowls were at that time. So we thought, you know what? How cool! Let's give our holders the ability to resurrect those really cool teens that have been burned, and that's what this resurrection utility does. So the God Bowl mints this utility. It's an NFT. You have to have a God Bowl in your wallet to utilize it. If you get a North God, you're going to mint a North Teen Resurrection, and with that resurrection, it gives you the ability to go onto our website on bullsnagesproject.com in the trait ranks page. You can go to the teens section, which is the very top. It says Genesis Bulls, Teen Bulls, and Apes. If you click on the Teen Bull, then there's a little toggle down about the bottom of the screen that you're looking at, and it says Teens and Underworld. You click on that, and that's going to show you all these really cool teens that have been burned. So once you acquire that resurrection utility, you can actually go in here and you can resurrect a teen from the underworld, bring it back to life. Now, when you do this, the bummer thing is you have to sacrifice another teen because our collection always has to be balanced at 9,000. So you burn one to get one. So some people may be saying, okay, well, what's that benefit? I'm just going in and collecting this teen and that's all I'm getting out of it? No, actually, that's not all you're getting. You're actually going to now allow this teen or this now going to be able to mint or claim methane token. So that's a really cool utility that we added. So all the resurrected teens are going to now be methane generation. So if you go onto our OpenSea and you look through our collection, you'll see some of these teens have this blue aura around them. That blue aura indicates that that's a resurrected teen, and that indicates that that teen is generating 5 methane tokens per day. So really cool, and a way for us to get that methane into the economy. Now, the third utility that we generated was what we call the meth machine, and Her Crypto and I talk about this every week. This is her favorite. This is her favorite utility.
Yes, my
Yes,
favorite.
it is, right? How
And
many
I've
do you
seen,
have now?
yeah,
How
no,
many?
I don't have any. I don't have any. But what's so wild, talk about it because I've just seen like 2 minted the last 24 hours.
2 minted the last 24 hours, but they're they're putting them up for sale. But man, I think the floor price is ridiculous on them now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I looked at that the other day, and it was they're almost 1 ETH. I think the last time I looked at it, I was like, "What? Are you kidding me?" I don't even know. And it's crazy because they differ based on guild too, which is pretty funny. Let me see here. I'm gonna check it out and see. Oh no,
Oh
they're
yeah.
not that. 0.7. Oh, there is a 1 ETH, a 1.05 ETH for a South meth machine. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
It depends on the guild. That's what's really interesting. It's like depending on the guild, they are different. Each of the Godbowl utilities are different floors depending on what guild.
Right. And it's really cool because these meth machines are minted for free by the God Bowls. You know, talking about realizing value, if a God Bowl mints this thing for free, all they're doing is time, 15 to 30 days, spending 600 methane. Now, this is a randomization, and the meth machine is the least likely to hit because based on randomization, but still they do. I'm looking at these North meth machines are on sale for 1,400. Oh, I mean 1.4 ETH. That's crazy, and they're selling. I'm looking at them right now. They're selling, which is absolutely amazing. So, yeah, that's really cool. Now, what's cool about the meth machine and why I think that they're realizing a higher value is the meth machine actually impacts the ability for a teen to generate methane. So just a second ago, I said, well, when you resurrect a teen, it generates methane. Absolutely true. 5 methane per day. The meth machine also allows your teen to generate 5 methane, but it's just not that one teen. It's going to be every teen of the same guild in your wallet. So if you have 10 North teens in your wallet and you generate or acquire a North methane machine, all 10 of those teens are going to generate 5 methane per day. But there's a caveat to this, and this is the kicker. With resurrected teens, that methane compounds, it collects just like our OGs do. So you don't have to get in there every day. If you go in once a week, you're going to get that 5 methane per day, and it's going to collect on that teen. You know, after 5 days, you'll have 25 methane. After 10 days, you'll have 50 methane. So it's going to continue to collect. With the meth machine, it doesn't collect, it doesn't compound. You have to go in every day to claim that methane. So it's important that if you're using a meth machine, that you're actually going onto our site and claiming. But we've got some. I mean, shoot, I think CZ's got what 600 teens in his wallet, and I think he has a meth machine for every guild. So his teens are generating crazy amounts of meth, having that many teens in his wallet. I can't believe it. He's the machine, literally.
I know it's been a while. I think sometimes when he's venting, we know because the site slows down.
Yeah, he does, doesn't it? So,
Charlie's up on stage. Hey Charlie, how are you? He's got his hand up. What's going on, Charlie?
what's up,
Hello.
Charlie?
Hey, hey. So one is a statement, and then one is a question on God bulls. But the statement is, as a relatively new holder, sometimes it can be a little, overwhelming when you're on the outside or you're just getting started. But for anyone who's listening, like if it sounds like a lot, there are tons of good people. There's tons of great resources inside of the Discord, but there's tons of people that are willing to help you talk it out. If you just ask a question in the Discord, like people will help you kind of think through the strategy and wrap your mind around it if it sounds like a lot. But it has been helpful, Tank, for me just coming to these things on Tuesday and just kind of listen to you go through it. And the first time it's a lot, but then the next time you hear it, it's like the more you read about it, it's like it's a lot easier over time. But just as an encouragement to the group, I would say if you have a question, just ask for help. There's tons of good people, Husker, Saul Goodbrush, tons of people in the community that'll help. But my question, Tank, on the God Bulls is in the most recent lore videos, they're showing all the God Bulls, and I know we have all these different types of God Bulls, but they had a new God Bull that I hadn't seen before, this Ice God. Can you tell us anything about that, or what's the deal with this Ice God?
We want to jump to that already, man. I was kind of yeah. Let's talk about that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to ask you a question real quick, but I want to cover one more thing with the Teen Bulls because it's just I want to go through the tokenomics one for the last part of it because I think it's important when we start talking about community tokenization because it uses the same strategy as our normal teens. So I'm gonna shelf that question real quick. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna answer it, but let's talk about the teens that aren't being impacted by the meth machine. So I mentioned the teens are generating methane. You've got resurrected teens are generating 5 methane per day. You've got teens that are being impacted by a meth machine. And you may be saying, well, man, I don't have a meth machine. Like her crypto doesn't have a meth machine. Is she getting any benefit out of all the teens that she has in her wallet? And she is. We introduced teen tokenization before BOTB became part of our project and before we started the tokenization of outside communities. We first did this with our teen bulls, and it's a leveling up system. So our teen bulls start when you get them in your wallet, they start generating 1 methane per day. They do that for 7 days. Then after 7 days, as long as you're not missing a day, they level up to a level 2 and they generate 2 methane token per day. Then after another 7 days, they level up one more time and they're generating 4 methane per day. So it's a level 3, 4 methane per day. And your teens will generate 4 methane per day every day as long as you don't miss a day. Now, if you miss a day, and I think her crypto, you just did this a week ago, right? You
Oh
drop
my
back.
god. Oh my god, Tank. I just did it again.
No, you did not.
What did we do the weird worlds? Apparently in our morning meetings of big events and our big announcements and big Twitter spaces, I need you guys to say, her crypto, go harvest right now. Because it's always on these big days when we have all this stuff happening and I don't know what happens and I just totally blank on it. And I don't know if I'm just like talking about it so much that I'm like, oh yeah, I totally did it. Did not. And I was totally fully loaded too. Man, so sad.
God, that's terrible. Yeah, I've just given into the fact that I'm never going to get in there every day. It just doesn't happen. So I'm just going to collect my 1 for those guys that aren't being influenced. But I know you were working hard and you got to that level 3 and you were getting 4. And then bam, you jumped right back down to level 1 again. That's terrible.
Yep.
But
Terrible.
yeah, it's funny. And I haven't forgotten about your question yet, Charlie. But I use this analogy when we're talking about teens. I didn't use it this time, but I'll tell you, and I think it's kind of funny. I always equate to our 3 levels of teens. So we have the meth machine, we have the resurrected teens, the meth machine teens, and we've got the regular teens that are generating 1 per day. And I always say that, and I've had 3 teenagers, so I speak from experience here. They're all grown and out of the house now, but and I could probably equate each one of these teens to each one of my kids, which is really kind of funny when I think about it. But your resurrected teen is like your responsible teen. He's, 19 years old, 18, 19. He's had a job for a while, gets himself up for work. He goes to work every day. He drives himself there. He does what he's supposed to on the job, and he earns his methane every day. And you don't have to worry about it. And he gets his paycheck at the end of the week, and he gets all of his methane. So he's a good, responsible teen. Your meth generating teen is like the teen that is 16 or 17. Maybe they've had the job for a little bit of time, but you still got to kick him in the ass to get him out of bed because he forgets to get out of bed, and you have to be on him every day. Because if you're not on him every day, getting him out of bed, and making sure that he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, you're not getting that 5 methane per day. And then you got the regular teen that's just doing 1 methane per day. And if you forget a day, right, that's the teen, brand new job, never had a job before. They're working every day. And you've got to ask them, are you doing what you're supposed to be doing at the job? Are you listening to your boss? You've got to drive him there. You got to get him out of bed. You have to do all of these things. And if you forget to do one of those things, then that teen gets suspended or he misses a day of work or whatever it is. That's how I equate our teens. And so her crypto has got the pain in the ass teen, the one that she's got to do everything for. And if you miss a day, you're screwed. So yeah, the teens are fun. Super cool. And that brings us into our tokenized communities. So real quick, Charlie, I'm going to do that real quick, and then I'll answer your question. Tokenized communities follow the same playbook in leveling up as our teens do. However, their leveling up goes a slightly smaller scale. They start at 1 methane per day for 7 days. They go up to 2 methane per day for the next 7 days. And when you get to level 3 on the third set of 7 days and then forever on, they're earning 3 methane per day. And they will continue to earn 3 methane per day as long as you don't miss a day. If you miss a day, you'll level back down. And that's for all projects that we're tokenizing. We've currently tokenized Lazy Lions, Bubblegum Kids, and Non-Code Ducks, all awesome communities that we love and we really feel a lot. I mean, I own every one of them. They're great communities, great founders. They're just awesome. How many communities are we tokenizing this week? Let's say how many we're tokenizing. Let's get the number out.
Are you want to drop some alpha?
Let's drop some alpha.
Hold on, I got to look at the list because it's not completely set. I don't know if you've been in because you didn't reply to my question earlier, Tank, but it is fluctuative a little bit still. So we can't. This isn't a hard number.
Okay.
But I'll say it's going to be between 4 and 7. How about that?
Woo, 4 to 7 communities that we're tokenizing this week. And we have a space scheduled already for Thursday, right? So we're picking up the pace, and we've had, I think, over 200 applications, right, for people that have asked to tokenize communities. Is that correct?
That is right. Yeah, we've had that's total applications. We have had a lot of people. There's a few communities that have had quite the people stepping up for them and saying, "Hey, you really should look at this community." So, as far as unique communities, we're still around, I think, 70 unique communities that have already put in.
Crazy. That's 70 unique communities. And we had vetted communities ahead of time. And we, of course, have our list that we're going through. We've stated it. And we talked about this when we did our space. And we're not joking. Our goal is to tokenize thousands of communities. We have the methane token. We want to bring communities together. We want to offer this utility to our communities because this utility in methane is phasing into weird worlds, which we'll talk about in a little bit here. Later in the show. But yeah, the tokenization of communities has been awesome. And I will tell you, we got numbers. I reached out to our developers, Yev, and he pinged me today before the show. We've only been tokenizing now for a week and a half, and our tokenized communities are harvesting over 50% of the people that logged in to check it out to see what we were doing and at least initially did the first harvest. 50% are returning. That's crazy. That's a 50% return rate. Now, Bulls and Apes is at 90% just because our community understands the tokenomics and what the importance is of it, and they're playing the game. So I'm hoping that tokenized communities will get there, but still to have a 50% return rate to engage with our project as far as claiming or harvesting and then claiming this free meth is absolutely crazy. I love it. It's so cool.
I know it is super exciting. And like you said, I think even still with it being as new as it is, having those types of numbers for the tokenized communities is still great, an accomplishment. And it's just one of those things that it's going to take time for people to I still think people don't realize a lot of people don't know about it yet. They're not aware. And so we're definitely still spreading the word, letting people know. So if you're hearing this for the first time, yes, we have tokenized the Nonconformist Ducks, the Bubblegum Kids, and the Lazy Lions. And what does that mean? It means that you get to earn methane token each day with those assets that you already own. So when you own any of these OG collections, we're not doing the any companion collections yet. So like the puppies or the cubs, those are not tokenized yet. But OG wise, they are. And Hell Ducks, answer a couple questions here. Hell Ducks are definitely on the list. We're going to get them added in as well. And the Bubblegum Kids, I know that you guys have staking and there's some kids that are staked. And unfortunately, right now, we're not quite yet able to have them connect to link or use what you could talk about too, SafeClaim, to collect that methane token yet. The dev team is aware and they are planning to get it worked out.
Yeah, we're working through that process, so it's super cool, and it's great because we're not asking anything. The only ask we have is just come to the site. You come to the site, you harvest. It takes less than 2-3 minutes, depending how fast you can get your wallet logged on. And then you click one button that says Harvest All, and that's it. And it goes into this little meth bank. That's a collection on our site that happens off chain. And then when that meth bank gets to an amount that you think it's reasonable now to utilize the gas fees to claim it into your wallet, then you just claim it and moves it to your wallet, your MetaMask, your Ledger, your Trezor, whatever you hold your NFTs or crypto on, and then it's yours to use however you want. You can use it in our ecosystem. You can hold it in your wallet. You can come into Discord and trade it. Like I said, I've been seeing trades of 15 cents a piece on these tokens. It's super cool. The other cool thing about claiming and harvesting on our website is we offer a bonus structure. So if you want to be active and you want to be in there, then if you're claiming every day, for every 30 straight days, consecutive days you claim, you get 50 bonus methane. And that's per wallet. So if you have all of your collections in one wallet, you're only going to get that one bonus. But that's really cool too, because it doesn't matter if you're buying and selling. So if you're regularly buying and selling NFTs, because that's part of the game, but you still want to get this methane, as long as you won't have one tokenized community in your wallet at all times, you will still level up and you will not lose a level, regardless of whether you're selling an NFT that you've already claimed. And if you sell an NFT that you've already harvested, that methane does not move with that NFT. It stays in your meth bank. Once you've drawn that and acquired it via the tokenization, it's yours. It does not move with your NFT. So that's a really cool function. So, and we're not asking for anything. We're just asking to come collect this and then hang out and see what we're doing really cool. And then hopefully you'll spend it in our ecosystem, utilizing it to earn these really cool free NFTs that we've been doing for our project. We're now going to be offering for tokenized communities, just to create this overall larger Web3. It's all about cross pollination, right? We've said from the very beginning that we don't want to live in a silo. I hold a lot of projects and I love all the projects I hold, and we want to share that love. We want to share the experiences that we have. We want to share what we're doing in this space to make a difference. And that's reaching out to these communities and saying, hey, join us, come hang out, come have some fun, earn some free methane token, and then maybe you'll find something cool to do with it. But let's
Yeah,
answer the question.
like mint the word world. But we're gonna talk about that. Okay, yeah. Lots of hands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got to ask you Charlie's question first, and then we're going
Oh
to
yeah,
get
yeah.
So Tank,
Okay.
on that same subject,
Yeah.
can you talk about that safe claim to where you don't even have to connect your wallet?
Perfect. Thanks for bringing it up. So this is actually kind of interesting. So when we were talking about tokenizing communities, and we were working on this for a very long time, one of the things that we knew was going to be a high barrier of entry for projects was connecting to websites. And we preach this all the time. We preach, don't connect to a website you're not familiar with. Don't mint anything that you're not familiar with. Don't claim free NFTs, because we had a summer of scams this last summer, and people were getting scammed left and right for connecting, authorizing a contract, and then boom, they were getting wiped out. Unfortunately, we had a dear community member last night that got hit very hard, and we feel so bad for him. And it happens. Even the people that are the most seasoned will think that they're doing something and then realize before it's too late. So we knew that that was a very high barrier of entry. So the executive team, the four of us, we sat down and started brainstorming about what could we do to reduce risk. We're all about risk reversal. We did that with our 6-month ETH back guarantee when we launched our bulls. We offered people 6 months to return their bulls and get their ETH back, no questions asked. Risk reversal. So he said, what could we do that's risk reversal? So we developed a tool called SafeClaim, and it's really cool. and we're developing it for more things, but the initial development was specifically for tokenized communities. And this is the way it works. So you have a cold wallet that you hold all your NFTs in, and you say, you know what, I have my ledger and I do not want to connect my ledger to any site because that's where all my most valuable NFTs are. So we said, okay, we respect that and understand it. We actually prefer you to do that. So what we did is we created this tool that allows you to set up a sister wallet. So what you do is you have Ethereum in your cold wallet where all of your NFTs are. You go onto our website. There's two windows that pop up. You copy and paste your cold wallet address into one field. Then it asks you for a sister wallet or basically a warm wallet, the burner wallet. You take and copy and paste that address in, and then it gives you a very specific amount of Ethereum to transfer from your cold wallet to your warm wallet. So our system generates that multiple decimal point Ethereum transaction, and it's very small. It's a few cents. You take and you transfer that exact amount. You hit copy, you paste it in on your MetaMask or whatever you're utilizing, wallet you're utilizing, and you make that transfer from your cold wallet to your hot wallet. So you're not sending it to us, you're just transferring it from one wallet that you own to another wallet. Our system recognizes that transfer. And now, because you've initiated that blockchain transaction, we know you own both of those wallets, and we make that connection on our site. Then every time you connect that warm wallet, because we've made that connection to the other wallet, we see the address for the warm wallet. Our system goes and looks into your wallet that we have the address for, reads what NFTs you have in there, and then we populate them on our screen, and then we let you go through that meth harvesting and claiming process. Now, if you sell one of your NFTs out of your cold wallet, we're going to see it, right? Because we look at the address and say, oh, that one's not there. We're only going to populate. This means you never have to connect your cold wallet ever again to have to claim those methane. You can bring them into your warm wallet, and then if you want to take them and transfer them on the blockchain into your cold wallet for safe storage, you can do that, or you can just hold them in that warm wallet and utilize them with other things that we're going to be bringing into the project. So I love this. It's a really cool tool, and I'm excited because we're going to be developing it for some other things and going to hopefully make it available to other projects because we think it's super valuable. To answer your question, Charlie? Or actually, you asked me to make that. So, yep.
The only other thing I was going to bring up, because I forget about it as well, and especially now with these tokenized communities, we're talking about being safe, talking about having things in a separate wallet, using a wallet that has no assets in it if you're going to mint anything. So I have a few wallets. And so some of these the tokenized communities, I have them in a separate wallet than my BAPs, than my bulls. And so I switch between my wallets and harvest my token. So if you try to send your token, you can't send it. I don't know if it's been fixed yet or not. There was something in there with MetaMask or something was happening. But once again, our amazing dev team, they went in and on our My Collection page, you're able to send methane token directly from the My Collection page to another wallet. So I can, yeah, so I can switch. So that I actually kind of forgot about it myself even because I never needed to do it. I'm like, I'm not sending anyone my methane token. It's mine. I'm using it. But
Right.
since now that we've done this tokenization, I've got the different wallets. I'm going to send the methane from my other wallets into my main wallet where I do the minting of my teens.
Right. So you can accumulate that. And this works well too if you've got that hot wallet, cold wallet scenario, or what I call warm wallet. You can now utilize our website to actually send that methane to your cold wallet, and you never have to actually, go through the process of trying to set up our methane token on MetaMask because you have to go through and set those settings to bring it in. So yeah, no, it's a really cool tool. I love it. So, but hey, let's answer Charlie's question. I know Gina's got her hand up, so just give me a second, real quick, Gina, and I want to answer Charlie's question. So it was funny. We announced that we got our chapter 7. So hopefully, if you're in our project and you're in the room, you guys have watched our amazing lore. We have 6 super cool chapters of lore. It's about 37 minutes long. If you haven't seen it, maybe we can get it posted up in the nest so you can find it. Definitely, I highly recommend you watch it. What's really cool about our lore is we've taken the story. It's an animated storyboard with narration, but it follows along the story of the bulls and apes in a way that explains our roadmap. So it's not just an animated story that gives you some, creative backstory of a character or multiple characters or whatever. We actually take our tokenomics and our gamification and we weave it into the story of this animated animation. So that way, when you're watching it, you're actually watching how our project has developed. It talks about methane. It talks about the God powers. It talks about the incubators and generating these teams. All of that is explained in our lore. And that's why I love it so much. Is this is a great way. If you're like, man, what is this guy talking about? All these complicated tokenomics. Watch the lore, and it makes it really easy to follow. And then when you come back and listen to my spiel here, you'll go, oh, okay, now I get what he's talking about. The lore does a really good job. So we've been releasing new chapters. We did the first 4 chapters, and then recently we did chapters 5 and 6. And it's really expanding on the story of the coming of the apes, because the apes are our next mint. In our project, the Bulls and Apes project, when we started it, there was 3 things that we introduced to this space. Number 1 was all of our founders and myself. The 3 founders and myself are all doxxed. Number 2, we offered that ETH back guarantee. 6 months. If you didn't like where our project was going and didn't partake in the tokenomics, you get your money back. No questions asked. Just go on our website, click a button. We actually had 8 people do the refund for a total of 15 bulls. That's 15 bulls out of 10,000 that got refunded, which was super cool. It worked great, and it was really cool that it wasn't a lot. The third thing we did was we said that our project was pre-funded through 2 mints. And I want to bring this up because it's really important. A lot of people look at us and say, well, gosh, Gary, you guys have had like 3 mints. You guys have had the OG bulls, the team bulls, the God bulls. You got all these cool utilities. That's actually all still 1 mint. 1 mint means OG bulls and everything related to it. That was pre-funded. We did not use our mint funds for any of that. Our mint funds were locked in our contract for 6 months because of our ETH back guarantee. And then we said that it's also through 2 mints. So we have the apes coming. We are the bulls and apes. Everybody's only seen the bulls. We haven't seen the apes yet. So we introduced the apes in our last 2 chapters of the lore because that mint is coming. And we've been working on that mint for about 7 months. The tech in it is crazy, and I'll talk about that in a bit. But chapter 7 is extending our story. So yesterday, I was in our DMs on Twitter, and I jumped in one of our amazing trade groups. We have some really awesome trade groups in our project. And the VIBs, the Very Important Bulls, they're a trade group that has suits and ties. They're a classy group. And I jumped into their channel last night. And I dropped them a little alpha relating to this ice god. So in our project, we have all of our OGs, and we have 500 God Bulls. Those 500 God Bulls are 10 different types of God Bulls, 50 variations of each. The key here is there's 10 of them. So when we released our chapter number 5 and 6 just recently, we snuck in this ice god. That is not a god that you can mint currently. It does not exist. And our lore referenced this god that doesn't exist as the 11th god. So I had dropped a little bit of information in the VIBs last night that I was going to have an announcement today related to the ice god. So I got to be careful what I say about it. But what I'm going to say is the ice god is talked about, and there is a major how can I say this, Sir Crypto? You better get ready with the mute button.
I'm ready.
There's a major development that will, I guess, answer the question of, is this ice god going to be available to mint to our community?
On chapter 7. You're saying chapter 7 is going to answer this question.
Yes, chapter 7 is going to answer.
Yes.
So the ice god is in chapter 7. Chapter 7 is crazy cool. So chapter 7, we are dropping chapter 7 on Tuesday of next week. So that was what we're going to drop today. So we're going to do a viewing party, 5 p.m. Central. 5 p.m. Central, right? Is what time we're doing it? I guess.
We don't. Yeah, hold on.
Now.
Hold on to that. I thought it was 7, but
it could be 7 Central. Yeah, it's 7.
Make sure you're
right.
7 Central. Yeah,
you're right. 7 Central. So we're gonna be dropping chapter 7. It's amazing, but you know what? I don't think that's enough for crypto. I was thinking about this earlier today. So talking to Manny, and I watched chapter 7 again today. Chapter 7 is absolutely amazing. I watched it today. Was I getting muted there? All right. Did you just mute me?
Wait, did I mute you? Did he get muted? Can I get some?
Yeah, you're muted. So
I was
what I
like, wait, what
said.
do you mean that's not enough? Hold on. Mm.
So I watched chapter 7 today, and I was like, "Holy crap! It's so freaking good!" And it's like 7 minutes long, right? And I'm like, a little over 7 minutes. I'm like, super freaking cool. I love this. And then Manny is like, I'm going to send you chapter 8. I want you to watch chapter 8. I watched chapter 8 today. It's over 20 minutes long. Chapter 7 and chapter 8 are 29 minutes long between the two of them. So I thought, you know what? I think we should just do chapter 7 and chapter 8 on Tuesday. I think we should drop both chapters and do 29-minute viewing parties. It's so cool. So
Let's
that's what
go.
we're gonna
I'm
do.
excited. This
Yeah.
is gonna be fun. If you guys have not joined one of our viewing parties in the watch party, it is so much fun. Get your popcorn, get your snacks, get your drinks, whatever you would like, water, soda, wine, beer, anything, whatever you like. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so fun. It's my
It's,
favorite.
it's gonna be so cool. I can't wait. Now, this is the decision we have to make. So we talked about this. If you combine, this is what's crazy. And I did the math today, and I was like, holy crap. If you combine all chapters, we're talking chapter 1 through 8, it's 66 minutes. It's over an hour long.
We got a movie.
Yeah,
So we're having
it's
movie
a
night.
movie. and we're not even done yet. I mean, we keep adding chapters. We're gonna have a full feature by the time we're done here. It's so cool. So what we're gonna do is, because it's so long and it's 29 minutes, we're going to be doing. Chris is actually putting this together. He's gonna put together. Carbar is gonna put together a really cool, like
Recap.
previously
We're gonna
on,
do a previously on.
yeah,
Yeah.
previously on. Like when you watch the TV shows and they take their hiatus over the winter break, and you're like, oh my god, I haven't watched the show in like 4 weeks. I'm gonna forget, and then they do that previously on, and they do some cool. So we're gonna do that. So what we'll do is we'll do like a previously on, maybe like 5 really cool minutes of just getting everybody caught up with what's happened. I don't know how we're gonna do it because there's so much great content in there. And then we're gonna roll right into chapters 7 and 8, and it's super cool. You guys got to come check it out. There's man, I got to be careful what I say. There's some hints in there. There's something. I mean, we're going to talk about the ice god, so I think we're going to answer that question. But there's something else that's going to be a pretty big hint if you're paying attention. That I think is going to. I can just see the conspiracy corner. I'm surprised we don't have the conspiracy corner anymore, because the conspiracy corner is going to light up when they watch chapter 7 and 8 with the stuff that we're going to drop in there and some things. It's going to be so cool. I cannot wait. It's a really cool way to end the year. Manny and I talked about it to kind of end the year on a high, but releasing both these chapters. And it kind of rounds out where our story's been going and really launches us into the first of the year when we're getting ready to the apes. So I'm super excited about it. It's really cool.
So we're doing this next week and not on New Year. It's going to be like a Christmas present. Like Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everyone.
There you go.
Maybe we should dress up. We should have people. We should wear our holiday gear.
You want me to wear a holiday gear? I can do that. I got a cool holiday shirt I'll wear. I got the perfect one that I can wear. It'll be great. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So, but hey, Gina, you had your hand up earlier. Your arm must have been getting tired. You put it down. How are you doing tonight?
Yes, I'm nice and relaxed. And I'm wondering when we're going to introduce the Creator Bowl.
Because I
feel like it's in my wallet. I just feel it, and I just want to know when it's going to come out and play.
Yeah, so let's talk. Well, for anybody in the room that's like, okay, what's Gina talking about a Creator Bowl? So this is actually kind of really cool. So if you watch our lore, which is posted now in the Nest, the creator in our story is a humanoid far, far, far in the future that is basically energy, and he's the one that's created the bulls and the apes that we now find out in chapter 5, how he's created the apes. So the creator, what we announced in the very beginning is we're going to have this really unique one-of-one NFT amongst our OG bulls, our Genesis bulls in the 10,000 collection. And what's going to happen is somebody currently holds one of our floor bulls, meaning floor, not a top trait. We're not talking about a 100 ranked bull or a 500 ranked bull. We're talking about a bull that's what we would consider a common or a floor bull. in the future will actually change its metadata and become a very unique one of one character that is completely different than anything else that we have in the collection. And there may be some surprises. Um, there
Keep
may be
going, Tank. Don't read.
surprises around it.
Keep going.
Yeah. There may be. I saw a little the message you heard it click in the background. Yeah, there may be some surprises about the creator as well. So yeah, people are watching. Gina, you could have it. Who knows where our floor is going to be though, huh, Gina? Right now, I see our floor almost at 1 ETH, so we're just like 30 bulls away from 1 ETH. So we're talking about floor bulls at 1 ETH, which is crazy. But yeah, the creator, it's going to be the one of one most rare bull, or that's not even a bull. I've seen it and it is freaking so cool. It's crazy looking. So
You've
yeah, I'm
seen
excited.
it? Can we see it?
Can you? Nah, we can't share it. It's got to be a surprise.
Okay, fair enough.
You're like, dang it, Gary, come on.
I
No,
really
yeah,
Like,
hope
it's really easy to get alpha out of.
I know, you just keep asking. I really hope that whoever ends up with it, because it's so randomized, like it's just going to be a complete randomization, metadata changes, boom. I really hope it's like an active person and not someone that like everyone's gonna be like pegging down the wallet. They're gonna be like, hey, oh my god.
let's talk about that. And I think that's super important because that question's come up. So this is a randomization, right? So it's randomized. So yes, it's going to be a lower bowl. It could be anybody's in their wallet. It's a random selection. But what we're going to do, because we were worried about that, you have some wallets that you go in and people are inactive in their wallets. We've got OG bowls that have never claimed their methane. And we have wallets that the executive team, the holders in the executive teams have. So, like my wallet, I've got almost 100 bulls in my wallet, and then you've got Anthony and Neo and Architect Agi that have very big wallets. Well, we don't want to get the creator in one of our wallets. That wouldn't be fair, right? So we need to make sure that we can exclude wallets, especially those of the executive team, from getting this. So we've been talking about this, and we want to make sure it's fair. But we think that it should, like you just said, go into the hands of somebody that's an active community member. So it's still going to be a floor bowl, and as long as there'll be a criteria. We're not going to disclose what that is, but you're just going to register your bowl and say, I own this and I'm active. And as long as you're active, then you're going to be in that randomization for the OG. What's really crazy is it's going to be interesting to see that if people are selling these OG bulls, and can you imagine it being an OG bull that you sold and becomes a creator? You're like, oh my god, that could have been mine, because it that would kill me. That would absolutely kill me. But yeah, Gina, hopefully you get it. I have no say, but it would be super cool because you are a very cool active member of the. We appreciate it.
Aw, that's
Hey,
so
Tank,
nice.
real quick.
Yes.
Have you heard the conspiracy theory going around about the creator?
Oh, what now? I'm curious. Tell me what's the
So
theory?
I didn't come up with this, but in the first few chapters of the lore, subject 1, the word SO1 shows up on 2 different slides, and the only other bowl number to show up in a slide is bowl 2023, and it says subject 2023, and you have to zoom in really close up on a screen up on the wall. Well, 2 weeks ago, somebody floored bowl 2023, and I bought it.
What?
Oh, really? That is interesting. So there's an Easter egg in there for 2023. I'm putting it in here. I want to see which one it is. Oh, it's a Bulls Gym Bowl too. Those are so cool. I love the Bulls Gym. I designed that tank top, by the way. That's my design. I love that.
Awesome.
That
Yeah,
is
we'll see, but I figured it was worth the gamble.
Yeah. And even if it's not worth a gamble, that's a great bowl. I love the Bulls Gym, and I love those glasses, those retro glasses. Those are super cool. But yeah, no, I it's I can't disclose how it's going to happen, but just know that we're going to make sure that it's fair. And because we definitely want to make sure that it's an active community member that has it, because you never know, there could be some cool stuff that this bad boy is going to be able to do, and it'd be sad if it didn't get a chance to spread its wings and do some cool things if it was in a wallet that wasn't that wasn't active. So yeah, that's the creator. We're excited about it. Any other questions? I want to jump into Weird Worlds because I think that it's important that we talk about it, because it's a big part of what our community tokenization is about. Is there any questions in Discord? I haven't even looked in Discord.
Yeah, no, but we've got a few other people on stage that haven't gotten a chance to ask a question
Yeah.
or speak up yet. So, Nikki, Nikki's got his hand up. People, hands are coming up. Nikki, and then
Hey,
Twin
guys.
Worries. Hey,
I just
Nikki,
make
what's
sure
up?
I make sure I'm at home every Tuesday just for this. 'Cause
Appreciate
it's
that.
my mind every day goes into so many different directions. So it's good to have somebody kind of ground me a bit to like, okay, maybe you're overthinking it, but you can work that angle or work this angle. So it's all a bit of fun. But my question refers to BOTB and the Evos that weren't claimed. Has there been? I talked to Baxter earlier in that Discord, but was wondering if the teams announced anything about those bulls being available or those Evos being available, and how that might look.
So, yeah, that's a great question. So, let me just cover the background on that real quick for anybody that's in the room. So, BOTB is the Bulls on the Block, and BOTB is an OG collection that minted in June of 2021. It was right before Lions and shortly after BAYC, and it was one of the original OG collections in NFTs when NFTs were going crazy. And over the years, they've struggled. And just recently, we acquired them, so they're part of our project. And it was an important acquisition for a number of reasons. Number one, Neo is the largest holder. He holds almost over 400 of the OG collection. Anthony was a big part of that project with trying to rescue it when the founders rugged initially at the end of last year. And that's how Anthony and Neo actually met, was through BOTB. And BOTB was mine and Guy's very first NFT that we ever minted. So it was a project that not just was, but is near and dear our heart. It meant a lot to all four of us. So when the opportunity came up for us to approach the community about acquisition and put together a proposal, we jumped on it, and we provided a pretty detailed proposal for the things that we thought that we could do for the project and the vision we had for the project. And we've been executing. So part of that execution, like you said, was filling out the collection. So the way that these worked was the initial collection was a 10,000 OG collection. It's this really cool two-dimensional kind of cartoon comic strip style NFT with a really cool background. And then what holders had the opportunity to do was they had the opportunity to lock that, stake it for 1 year, and exchange, they would get themselves another free NFT that was an evolved version of that same NFT. It has a more 3D look. It looks completely different, but it has the same characteristics, the same traits. So it's an evolved. They called it an Evo Bull. And only 7,000, a little less than 7,000 people took the original project up on that offer. So there's only 7,000 in there. There's still over 3,000. And then they did a companion NFT called the Bears on the Block, which is a really cool bear NFT. Actually, bears are really, I like the bears a lot. And that was a free NFT, a 10,000 collection. But there's still a little over 500 of those to be minted. So we said when we made our presentation that we would look into bringing these additional NFTs back into the contracts and make them available through some kind of mechanism to be able to be minted out. And I can say right now that yes, we're going to do that. So when is that going to happen? We're timing it. We're working through some processes. We've got some things that we're doing in BAP right now with the Weird Worlds, but it's coming soon. We gave ourselves a 120-day roadmap window to be able to deliver very specific things. These two items, the minting out of the Evos and the minting out of the Bears, are part of that 120-day roadmap. We're 30 days in, a little over 30 days in, so we're just asking a little bit of patience. And then we're going to present what that is going to look like and how that process is going to happen. And we'll make that public to the community, and then we'll have some fun with it. It'll be very, very cool.
Make sense? Did that was a lot. Did everyone follow that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just want to make
thanks, Tank.
the background.
Yeah, thanks, Tank. I just was like, I don't know, part of my strategy, I don't want to disclose too much because I don't want everybody jumping on it right away. But yeah, I'm just looking at some things and just saw some are missing from the collection. So was just wondering.
So I will tell you, and so this is going to be interesting because I want to disclose this because I think it's only fair. Part of what we do here is strategy as well. So we understand that right now there are ways to try to figure out what OGs have not evolved. And so that's part of the strategy you're talking about. And there's ways to do that through contract and people in both we still have the Discord community is still open for BOTB. People in there are great. People in BAP, there's a lot of crossover communities, so you can go in there and ask, and they'll talk you through how to verify either one, whether an OG has been evolved, or two, if an OG ever minted its companion bear. But that's part of why we have not released those contracts yet and started that mint process, and how that's going to work is because we would like to get some tools in place that gives everybody a fair shot of looking to see what still is out there related to what hasn't been minted for OGs, etc. So that's part of the process, and we're working on that. That is more technical. It's I know that people in the BOTB community said, well, it's super easy. You just go turn this switch, figuratively speaking, turn this switch on, and you can re-kick this thing back up. And yes, that's true. But we want to gamify this a little bit and allow people that are starting to look at what's available on the floor, what Evos are out there, what Evos haven't claimed. The other thing that we have to consider, and we can be open about this as well, is there's a lot of dead wallets out there. There's a lot of wallets that have OGs in them that haven't had any activity in them for a year. And are those OGs ever going to have an opportunity to Evo? If you can't get your hands on them and have the opportunity to evolve that, does that mean that we still have an incomplete collection? So those are all things that we're thinking through, and how to make it the most fair for everybody that's currently active that has an OG that wants to Evo that they didn't get a chance to. And then what do we do about dead wallets that have OGs in them that, that are inactive, and how do we engage that, and what do we do about those? So a lot of things to think through, and those are stuff that we're working through right now.
All right. Cheers, Hank. Yeah, I'll step down.
Cool. Thanks, man. Tori Morris, what's going on?
Yo, what is going on? Bat Bulls and Apes, man, you guys are killing it. I just wanted to come on here and share my gratitude and my appreciation for what you guys have been building. Um, my community, I'm the founder of Tomori's JPEG Joey NFTK23. My community and your community have been hounding me because of this, tokenization, and rumors are going around that we've all heard this and that. So I was forced to get on here. I'm gonna probably be sleeping on the couch tonight because my fiance is snoring in the room. My community members were like, "You got to get out of bed, get on space, go on stage, and talk to the bulls and apes." I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna jump up. I'm gonna sleep on the couch, and I got you guys." So I just want to come up here, have some fun. I know you guys are doing some amazing things. I really appreciate what you guys are doing for this space. Bringing the collaboration with all different communities is very exciting. I'm just super excited, blessed, and grateful to be on this pedestal as a free mint in just a couple of months. I believe we have a good shot at getting into to- the tokenization. Um, my only question is, what else we would have to do? What should we do? What can I do as a founder in order to put my project, Toy Mores, in a prime position to be nominated for this actual tokenization?
Great question, and thank you for coming up. So there has been a lot of speculation, especially around Toy Morris, and I will tell you, I'm a Toy Mori holder. I love my toys. I've got them. So, I try to keep my personal feelings with the projects that I have out of this. So there's a few things that I want to discuss here because I think it's important. We've seen a lot of movement. You guys have been crushing it as far as your sales. And I know a big part of it is some of our larger whales have really gravitated towards the toys. They love them. They're in there. They're minting them. And I know that in our community, there was a lot of whispers about whether these certain whales had any kinds of heads up on a tokenization of the Moris. And I can say unequivocally that no, they did not have any heads up. We have not announced that we are tokenizing the Moris. Now, it doesn't mean that we're not going to. But one of the things that we have to be very careful of is that we want to tokenize projects, and if you've noticed, we're not projecting what we're tokenizing. There's only 3 people in our project that know what projects are going to be tokenized. That's myself, that's Her Crypto, and that's Anthony. Even our other founders don't know until we've made the decision, and then we approach them and say, okay, this is the projects that we're going to tokenize. So we keep it pretty close because we don't want that information to get out, because then it gives unfair advantage to certain people. And then, what you have is you have whales that go in and scoop, and then it that tips the scale, and we don't want to do that. So I didn't really answer your question, but I at least wanted to preface this because there's been a lot of talk in our community about it. As far as what you're doing, man, having community that supports you and saying, knocking on our door and saying, guys, we would love to have you guys tokenize, that's amazing. And that's what we want. We ideally, yes, we say we're going to tokenize 1,000 communities, and that's our goal. But when we're looking at these first communities that we're tokenizing and bringing in, it's these communities that are engaged. It's these communities that we have crossover with. It's these communities that have supportive founders like you jumping up on a space to hit me up straight up and say, what do I need to do? That's amazing. That's what we're looking for. So just tell your community to be engaged. We're not saying don't buy into our project. We're not. If you guys want to come buy in, that's amazing, but we're not asking that. Just stay engaged. Be present. Have conversations. Have your community reaching out to us and filling out applications. Come in here and hanging out, man. This is amazing. So that's all I can say. Other than that, the criteria that we have, we're not disclosing that criteria and how we go through the vetting process. But be patient. That's what I can say.
Yeah, he's taking a night on the couch for us.
I know. I love it. I love it, man.
I'm literally on my balcony and I'm like trying not to yell because my window's right there. And yeah, I'm taking one for the team tonight, guys. But just really appreciate you answering that as best you could. I know, obviously as a founder and alpha and putting stuff out there before it's official and all that comes into play. So obviously, it's all rumors, guys. We all know that. I've said it multiple times. It's all rumors. But we do have a lot of mutual holders. Before even this rumor started, a lot of the Bulls and Apes project was actually involved in our community because of a mutual community holder who actually does both of our merchandise,
Yes.
Crypto Cheap and NFT to print.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do your guys' alpha merch and they do
Oh.
our toys.
I haven't
So
ordered my toy yet. I'm going to be ordering my toys. I can't wait to order my toys. I'm super stoked about it.
yeah, and I'm telling them it's just it aligns perfectly. So like you said, it's exactly what I'm telling the community. Show up. Obviously, we got some toy mories on here. It's 11 p.m. Eastern time zone. So we were just on a space earlier. We won a sweeping contest. We were on there probably for about 2 or 3 hours. We won the sweeping contest by I think like 1 or 2%.
Nice.
So shout out to everyone that was on there earlier. Shout out to everyone that's here. As you heard, the Tank Man said, come and show up as best as you can, fill out those applications, get us nominated, get on their Twitter, blow them up. If you can, get inside their community. It's a great community, guys. It's phenomenal. They're doing innovative things. They're building. Anthony, I'm in his DMs all the time. We actually have we've been trying to get on the phone call for weeks, but he's busy, I'm busy, and hopefully that'll come in tuition very soon. But again, thank you guys for doing what you're doing. Her Crypto, Tank, killing it. BAP Club, keep doing what you guys are doing, and much love. Thank you again for all the answers and the questions, so I can be a better founder for my community and put them in the prime position to be in the tokenomics, tokenization, and yeah, let's go.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. So yeah, you're talking to the right two people when you're coming in the space. So we'll take it back and then have a conversation. But thank you so.
I didn't even know we were going to share all that information. I got to shut my DMs now down. Thanks, Tank.
I know. Sorry, man. I mean, it's
Tank's
only fair,
always dropping the alpha.
Yeah, I know. And it's only fair. The thing is we want to make sure that this is turning out to be a very big deal, which is what we were hoping. And people are going to be looking to who are they reaching out to. I can tell you right now that yes, Her Crypto's DMs. I have my DMs open. I can't always get to them, but those forms, we look at them. Those forms come to us. We read them, go through them, and then have our conversations about what we need to do to vet projects and then bring them in. So just continue to do the forms, and we're cool. But let's talk about why we're doing community tokenization, because I think this is a perfect segue. Community tokenization was important for us, and it started out because we wanted to bring communities together. And a big part of bringing communities together is then offering them something that they can have. Here we have Bulls and Apes. and we're doing these really cool, like I explained an hour ago, how we do these really cool teen bowls and god bowls, and we've got these utilities that are all these things that our core community is finding value in, and they're realizing that value in a lot of different ways, whether that value is realized through trading or it's realized through selling, um, on OpenSea, or even in our Discord trading corner. And we thought, what could we do to bring this to a broader audience, and not just our handful of holders that we have. We've got a couple thousand holders between our OG bowls and our teen bowls. And that's the other crazy thing about our project is you look at our holder count, it's small, but it's because our tokenomics encourage holding, and encourage accumulation because of accumulating that methane token and generating those NFTs. So we thought, what could we do and where are we going? And we always knew we had a plan in the metaverse. It was always a plan. It's in our roadmap when we've announced the project. And we've been talking about it for a long time. And we've been working through the process of what would a metaverse look like for us. So it worked out perfectly that we thought, what? We want a metaverse not just for BAP, but we want a metaverse for all of Web3. We want to be a platform. We don't just want to have a metaverse that caters to our community as a game. There's nothing against games. There's a lot of projects that are talking about the metaverse, and they're going to generate or create games, and a community can go in and play a cool game, and that's great if that's what the roadmap is. But we want to do something more than that. We want to be bigger and broader than just a gaming platform, a gaming metaverse. So what we're doing is we're creating weird worlds, and they're worlds. They are individual worlds. We have tiered worlds. They're common, legendary, and epic. We have not released what those mean or what the pricing is, but I will tell you that the common world, the baseline world, is the world that you can mint with your methane token. The epic and the legendary will be Ethereum based mints. You don't have to get those if you don't want to. The common world is perfectly good, and it will potentially do exactly what you want it to do. What our platform is going to be is a drag and drop platform. We want to encourage our community and other communities to create a world that is the world that you want to create. It is going to be a drag and drop type of world. We're going to create assets that'll be acquired again, our methane token, or a token that will be an actual token on this platform. We'll be able to acquire these assets that you're going to be able to build out the world that you want to build out. Now, that could be a gaming type world that you want to create. That could be a commerce. It could be a token gated world. Let's say you want to create a world that you want to offer a service in, and you can token gate your world, so that way people are paying to get into your world, and that fee is something that you're going to. So it's a way of generating a commerce, and a way of doing a commerce in the metaverse. That's what we're creating. So we want to provide these worlds for our holders and other communities to come in and build their own mini metaverses, is basically what it is. And we're going to provide that platform, and that's what we're doing. So that is what Weird Worlds is, and it's as weird as you want to be. If you want to be a weirdo, we say we're weirdos. Be a weirdo, come hang out and create that perfect world that you think your metaverse experience should be. You can have it as a hangout for your friends. You can have it as a business. You can have it as a movie theater. I used an example. I'm an executive producer, and I've produced short films, and it would be super cool to have a small theater for indie films that I could token gate and invite people to come in and watch my short films in my movie theater. I could create a world to do that, and that's the platform that we're creating. So the access to these worlds is methane. If you hold a token in any of our tokenized communities, you're going to be able to claim that methane. You're going to be able to then mint yourself a Weird World NFT. The rolling mint starts on January 12th. That is for the BAP community. BOTB community is shortly thereafter, and then our first three communities are after that. That information is available on weirdworlds.com. If you go there, it actually lays out the dates that the rolling mint starts. And you can mint that with your methane. Now, super important about how this rolling mint is going to work. It's not an unlimited amount of worlds. We're not going to say, oh, you're going to have 10,000 for every community. Every community is going to determine how many worlds is in their allocation. And the way that their allocation is determined is based on their activity in on our website with claiming methane. So the more active a community is, the more people that come in and claim their methane, the higher the allocation of the common worlds are going to be available to mint with methane. So if there's a community that gets tokenized and they're like, man, we want to have 200, 300,000 worlds available for our community to mint, then that community needs to rally and they need to get in and they need to start claiming that methane, because that participation is going to increase that allocation. And of course, you need the methane to be able to mint this. So you're going to need the methane anyway to be able to mint it. Now, you could come into Trading Corner and you could swap with our community or another community. Let's say somebody that's a lion doesn't really care about a common world, that they're going to buy themselves, and we're going to talk strategy here. They want to buy themselves an epic world, and they're going to then use their methane token to collect, and they're going to come into the Trading Corner and they're going to sell that methane, so that way somebody else can then maybe mint themselves a common world because they just need a little bit more methane. That's a strategy. That's a strategy that now community tokenized communities can realize what that value of methane is. So we're going to be talking about that over the next few weeks, the different strategies of how you can harness that methane and use it, whether it's minting a common world, whether it's coming in and trading it with our community for what they're doing in our tokenization, or trading with other communities so they can realize the use of that to then get their common world. But then we have the apes coming as well. And I will tell you, the apes in our mint will be utilizing methane as part of their tokenization and gamification as well. So methane will be always important in our ecosystem. So there's always going to be a value there. So super excited about Weird Worlds. You guys just hang out. Go to weirdworlds.com for any of that information. You can go to Weird Worlds NFT on Twitter, and we'll have regular posts there. You guys can always come in here and hang out and get information here, or in our Discord, and we'll provide information. Did I cover everything here, Crypto? I think I did, right?
I think
John,
you
that,
did.
that was music to my ears, man. I appreciate all the information and the update. That's it's amazing what you guys are doing with this community, and I wanted to bring all the Xenu guys in here as you guys were in ours last night. So we appreciate everything you guys are doing, and tokenizing every community out there. That's going to be huge, especially with the BAYC here. It looks like by the posts I'm seeing and videos I'm seeing. So it's going to be cool.
Yeah, it was fun making that video. That's super cool that we used. That was actually one of NeoApe's bases that he had in the video. The lion is actually a lion that the project owns. The same thing with the non-co duck and the all of the NFTs that we used in that production was our NFTs that either one of the founders owned or our project ourselves, because our project actually bought into these communities as well. So we own Lazy's, we own non-co, we own Bubblegum Kids. Super cool. We believe in supporting projects, so we did that even as a project.
Yeah, speaking of the video and what we did, and you were saying if you covered everything there, and like you said, you've looked at the tweet that was pinned. There's a lot of stuff pinned on the nest above our heads. If you don't know what the nest is, it's the area above our floating heads here. There's quite a few tweets pinned there. So if you're coming in late, if you're wondering what you missed, oh my gosh, there's so much alpha getting dropped. What first of all, we absolutely recorded, so we can definitely, you can come back and listen to us if you came in late. But on the Weird Worlds, there's a tweet pinned up there for you to hit that tweet, like it, retweet, and during the I'm sorry, once a week you have the chance to win between 1 and 5,000 methane token. So I know, and then that video for Weird Worlds, oh my gosh, it's so good. The amount of Easter eggs in that video, you guys.
So cool, huh? Yeah, our trait groups got a kick out of that. I reached out to the trait groups. I'm like, hey guys, give me your logos. And they're like probably wondering, why is Gary coming in here asking for our logos? I'm like, give me your logos. So they all sent me their logos. So if you look real hard, you'll see our trait groups got some cool representation. And there's some other Easter eggs in there too. So it was super fun. I loved it. Any questions? I think we got a couple people up on. Please, Cleric, you asked to come up. You got some questions, comments that you have?
I got a question real quick about the token tank. Let's say I don't have a bull and ape, right? I'm a community member, but I have a bubblegum kid. I have something that could be harvest. Could I just harvest? I might have missed this, but could I just harvest that and gain the methane token to mint the rolling mint?
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Okay.
We're saying you don't have to own a Bulls and Apes project NFT. We're not saying come in and buy us. Right now our floors are up there. We're almost at one ETH right now on our floors. We're I think 20 away from one ETH. So our NFTs are up there. We're saying just hold your own community. You love whatever community is being tokenized. People in that community are there because they love it, right? They love the art, they love the community, they love the founders, they love whatever the project's doing. So love your community and then just come in and claim your methane. You don't have to own anything that is BAP. You don't have to own an OG. You don't have to own a team. You don't have to own a BOTB OG or a BOTB Evo or a Bear, which are all part of our project now. Just own a bubblegum kid. Come in, harvest your methane, claim it into your wallet, and then as soon as you have the quantity, which we'll be announcing here soon, just keep an eye on our website. We'll be announcing how many methane you're going to need. As soon as you get that number of methane, then when your date comes, just make sure you log in and mint your available world. And like I said before, there's only going to be a certain allocation. So you have to be active for one, and you're going to have to pay attention to when that mint date is because people are going to be watching. We have people that own multiple NFTs across different collections. So there may be somebody that says, well, I own a Bubblegum Kid and a Lazy Lion. Could I go mint from each one of those? Yeah, as long as you own one of those NFTs because that NFT is your allow list, right? That's what gets you that mint. But you could own that NFT and maybe you only collected methane a couple days and then you're like, oh crap, man, I wasn't in here. So you went and bought some methane from somebody else. Technically, that's a strategy. You could still go claim that world. Now, is that fair? I don't know. That's why we want to make sure as many people are getting in there and participating because that's what's going to set that allocation because we couldn't just set an open number, right? It has to be for active community members, and every community is going to be different. Some community, maybe we only get 50 people in there, and that's all that want to participate. That's fine. They come in, they participate, then they have an allocation of that 50. Maybe we have another community that has regularly 500 people that are coming in. Well, guess what? That community is going to get an allocation of 500. So it all depends on how active and regular the community is coming in. And we're going to have a tool on the website. Forgot to mention this, and our devs are working on it. Hopefully here in the next week or so, we will have a tool on our website. So when you go in and claim, every community that has been tokenized will have a tool that's going to show what their allocation is. So you can watch that, right? So as communities are coming in, you can see where your allocation is. So if you're like, man, we only got 50 allocated here, you can get your community to come in and start claiming their meth so you can get that allocation pushed up to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to mint an NFT. And we're not asking you to buy anything, all we're asking is come in, claim it, and go mint it. That's it. There's nothing. We're not asking for anything. We're not asking for to spend any money. We're not even asking you to connect your wallet. Like I explained earlier, we have safe claims, so you can use a warm wallet that is just connected via an ETH transfer between your two wallets. And if you just came in and you're wondering what I'm talking about, you can go into our Discord channel. They'll explain it, or if you want to listen to this recording, I explained it earlier. But basically, you're giving an allow to a warm wallet, so you can go in and claim and harvest your methane without ever having to connect the wallet that you use as your cold wallet or your vault for your very important and expensive NFTs. So we made that tool available because we know people would possibly be hesitant about coming and connecting their ledger to our website when they're maybe not sure about us. So we created a tool so that way we remove that barrier of entry. And that's part of that participation because we wanted to encourage community to come in and do this, but we knew that could be a barrier of entry for people saying, oh, I don't really want to participate because that scares me. So we removed that. Come do safe claim. If you do safe claim, then you don't have to worry about it. You can still participate and get that allocation as high as you want.
Kudos to you guys, bro. Keep it up. That's super inspiring. I had no idea it was that involved, and I'm super happy to be on this space. So thank you. Keep it up, guys.
Cool. Yeah, no worries. Charlie, what's going on? Got your hand up.
Charlie.
All right, Charlie doesn't hear me. How about
Rich?
Claire? Yeah, Claire, you had your hand up. You came up earlier. What's going
on? I know I missed probably the early parts of this. I'll go back and listen to the recording. Fairly new to the Bulls and Apes project as of last night. I was able to snag one teen, a meth machine, and a God Bull.
Nice.
So I'm super stoked. The more I find out about this, the more I see how large this becomes, and quite literally the definition of an ecosystem for NFTs and the usage of them. So my questions come into, aside from the Discord, is there a video or something out there that will give a rundown of the most economical way to build methane on like the cheapest aspect? Because
So
last night was roughly about a $4,000 night. So,
so you know what?
it was.
That is a great question. So I'm going to answer it. I'm going to answer it a couple different ways. Okay. So first off, I get that you're not a Discord person, so I'm going to give you two resources.
No, actually, I am Discord. It's just I'm a father of two boys, so my time is extremely limited.
I get it. Okay. So number one, our website has everything that you'll need in there. There is a page that says, actually, I just totally drew a blank now. I'm going to tell you what it is.
Tokenomics?
Yeah. If you go to Holder Benefits, go down to Tokenomics. That Tokenomics will actually walk you through how the Tokenomics works for every single one of our NFTs, how much they generate, what you have to do to generate it, and how they interact, like how the meth machine interacts with the teens, like all of that stuff that I was explaining earlier. And people were like, oh my gosh, this is so much information. You can actually go to our website at bullsandapesproject.com, go to Holder Benefits, and go to Tokenomics. And we have this really cool graphics that show you not only in text, but in pictures of how that works. So that's number one. Number two, we have on our website a sign up for email. Now, we do not spam, but what we do is we offer an email list that allows you to get all the alpha ahead of time. And we usually drop.
Yeah, I signed up for all that tonight. So.
Okay. So now let me answer your other question. And I love this question for this reason specifically. If you look at the projects that we're tokenizing, we're not trying to tokenize projects that are around our floor. Like you just said, you had a pretty big buy-in, right? And we're getting more expensive. I mean, I bet you by the end of the year, we will have over a 1 ETH floor at the rate that we're going, maybe sooner. So what's important is you can look at all these communities that we're tokenizing, and we're bringing in communities of all different price ranges. So what I love about this is if you're looking at this going, man, I would love to get methane token, but the price point is just great for one or two that I got in, but I really want to build a meth farm. I want to be able to build out the ability to generate a lot of this methane token. Look at our tokenized communities. Go look at Bubblegum Kids. Go look at Non-Code Ducks. Go check out those communities and buy theirs. We want to encourage you guys to do that. We're not here saying, oh, only come BAP. No, tokenized communities, go check them out. They're great communities. They're awesome founders. There's some amazing projects out there, and that's why we're bringing them into our ecosystem. Go buy their projects. Go show them some love, and you're going to generate tokens just with them the way you would generate with us. Now, maybe not quite as many, but it's only a difference a day. If you compare it to our teens generate 4 per day. Tokenized communities generate 3 per day, and they still get the same benefit. They're going to still get that every 30 days. As long as you're consistent, you're going to get 50 bonuses. That matches what we're doing with teens. So it was important for us to say, you know what? We value these other projects. And for us, this was a way to bring a lot of eyes to other projects as well, and projects that don't have the same floor price we do.
So yeah, okay, that's good info that I'll start looking into. Just, I mean, this sounds stingy, but cheapest route for the most methane in a given 24 hours, and then you can use that methane to harvest, or not harvest, but what is it? Breed or a pop, mint a teen bull or whatever it is. I mean, as you can tell, I'm just starting to break the surface on this project. So I get it. The name of the game is getting the most methane you can in a 24-hour period. That way you can get a leg up when it comes time to mint.
Right. And a lot of our holders are playing that game, and they're looking at, and that's why, we mentioned, Tori Morris is up, and we had this conversation about, are they going to be are we going to tokenize them? And I said honestly that, yeah, we're looking at everybody, and I love their community. But I had mentioned earlier that we had some whales in our project that loved the Tori Moris, and they had no inside information, but they went in and started sweeping their floors, and I think they bought up 40 or 50 Tori Moris in a very short period of time, which was awesome. We loved.
Let me clear that up. What the? I'm sorry. Soundbar was on. Let me clear that up. Bubble gum, not gun. Bubble gum, not gun. He said bubble gum, kids. Make the meth, not gun.
We're all struggling, man. This is hard. It's hard in this market. It's a different story when it's a bull market. So much money flying around. Everybody's just looking to buy the next NFT, to 3x it, to 10x it, flip it, and make their money. Well, in a bear market, you don't have that option. So there needs to be utility that's providing value, right? And utility that people can realize that value. So for us, that's what we want to do. We want to say, you know what, it's a bear market. It sucks, but let's show the love and let's create some really cool value to other projects and do something that nobody's ever done before, to say, hey, let's share. Let's come hang out. Yes, ultimately, we're bringing people into our project. This is marketing. This is a business. We're all business people. I've run multiple businesses. Currently have a business in real life. Manny and Guy have had exits in multiple businesses. Anthony has been in the corporate world. This is his first foray into entrepreneurship, but he's dove right in. And that's what we're running as a business. But there's one thing about running a business for the benefit of business only. And then there's another way of running a business for the benefit of business, but benefit of your customers, quote unquote, your community, right? And that's what we want to do. And that's what we're doing. So super cool. We have any more questions for crypto?
Well, I appreciate it. Looks like I've got more digging to do, so I'll be hit probably
all right.
Cup of coffee.
All right, so real quick, man, that was a lot of alpha. I wasn't expecting him to go that deep. I honestly, hold on, let me.
Cool, love it.
He spit something else out.
All right, so I see Charlie's got your hand up. What's going on, Charlie?
Hey, so first off, just want to say we appreciate the effort that you guys put in. It's just the team and Tank, the energy you bring, and Her Crypto, just the all the communication that all of you guys work on. I just want y'all to know, like, we don't take it for granted. We see you guys working. We see you guys bringing the love, bringing the energy, bringing the information, like putting in the hours, putting in the work, like doing the real stuff. And I just want to let you know on behalf of the community, we see that. We don't take it for granted. I mean, we love you guys. We love the work that you're putting in. So just wanted to say that off the top. My question, kind of jumping back to the God Bull utilities and just in the God Bull process, during the lead up to the God Bulls, you guys were creating merger orbs, and that was really before my time. Is there going to be, or what is going to be the place for these merger orbs that are kind of still out there?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know what? I haven't had a chance to talk about merger orbs in a while, so I love that you brought that up. So I'm just going to give you a backstory first, and then that way I can explain why we have them and then where we're going with them. So through the process of summoning a God Bull, when we were still minting the God Bulls, that process was you took a teen bull, you sacrificed him or burned him and turned him into a merger orb. Then you took 4 teen bulls, one from each guild, and you took all 4 of those teen bulls and sacrificed them along with the merger orb and 2,400 methane tokens, and voila, you got yourself a God Bull. So it was a very long process to go to get to that God Bull. The merger orb was just a part of the gamification. So what happened was when we designed the game, we had 500 God Bulls and we created 500 merger orbs. And then we realized, oh, wait a minute. If we do that, then people could literally just go get these merger orbs, literally take a teen bull and 2,400 tokens and get your merger orb. And somebody could hoard the merger orbs, because in order to get the God Bull, it required a total of 13,000 tokens, meth tokens. So that's a long path. But if somebody wanted to shortcut it and strategize, they could literally gobble up all the merger orbs and then sit on them and just mint God Bulls whenever they wanted. And we thought that was unfair, because that would give an unfair advantage to some big whales. So I was thinking about it. I thought, okay, how are we going to fix this? So then I went back and I thought, okay, let's do this. What we're going to do is we're going to create 1,500 merger orbs. So if you have a merger orb, you're never guaranteed to get a god, so you still have to play the game. And then by the time that we're done minting out the gods, we'll have this collection of 1,000 merger orbs left over. And then we made it clear to our community that we never let anything go to waste. So we're not announcing what we're doing with them, but we have a lot of very cool stuff coming up, you guys. And I would say merger orbs have some value. Personally, I have one of them in my wallet. I'm going to hang on to it. Now, what we exactly have is not, I mean, we have an idea what we're going to do with it. So I'm not going to front run it and go out and collect them because I'm not going to play that game. But I have one just because I minted it because I wanted to get another god and I wasn't quick enough to get to it. So I'm going to hang on to it because there is going to be something that we're going to use them for. So hopefully that answers your question.
There's also a merger orb in the Weird Worlds. I'm going to go and tell you that.
There's a merger orb in the
Yep.
Cool. Marcus, you came up. What's going on, brother? Any questions, comments, insight?
Yo, how are we? No, I just wanted to jump up and quickly just sort of say to Cleric as well, because I was in the space when we were when he was onboarding.
Yeah, you were in Cuff space. Yeah, the Cuff was the one to actually get me in, and Marcus was massive help.
For sure. And definitely wasn't trying to take credit there, but I was inboxing you just to let you know I've been pretty busy and I'm happy to jump on a call with you if you would like me to give you some information as to how the tokenomics work and how you might look to acquire meth as well. But I also wanted to just sort of explain to everyone that a rising tide lifts all ships, and what we're hearing and seeing with that is when projects get tokenized or these communities become tokenized, people are realizing the price of these assets, at least based on the price of street value of meth. So what we've found is that all of the projects at the moment are quickly rising to a 0.1 ETH floor. The two collections at the moment that are undervalued for people that want to know are the Bubblegum Kids and the Nonco Hellducks. The Nonco Hellducks aren't claimable with meth right now, but supposedly they will be shortly. But they are the two cheapest assets to acquire based on the meth that you can accumulate from them. But what we're seeing also is that the meth production and the pricing of these assets is based off a lot of the OG bulls and the teen bulls as well, with regards to how much meth that they produce. So in terms of like trying to find the cheapest means to acquiring meth, it's quite a difficult thing because these projects and the collections do change in terms of pricing. So what might be cheap now might not necessarily be so cheap next week. But yeah, I'd just say stay involved. As Tank said, read up on the website, find out as much information as possible. Feel free to slide into the DMs. I'm happy to jump on a call with you as well. And yeah, just keep your ears to the ground and eyes on everything that's happening.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. I'll be hitting you up in DMs, and I will take you up on that call. That's for sure.
Cool. Any other questions? I think I've thrown out a lot of stuff. I want to talk about apes, but maybe we'll leave that for next Tuesday. I will state that yes, the apes are coming next year. We've got some really cool announcements coming, so just stay tuned for the apes. Some super cool utility. I mentioned it before. I'll mention it again. It's never been done in this space. What we're going to be doing with the apes, the mechanics, the utility, the gamification that's going to come into play with the apes is crazy, and it is going to blow people's minds. And I do not say that lightly. You know, people may be listening, going, dang, this Tank guy is full of a bunch of hyperbole. No, if you guys have been in here for the 7 months I've been running my show, when I'm hyping something, it's usually there's a reason behind the hype, because something is coming. And so the apes are a very big deal. We hyped Weird Worlds, talked about that was coming. The tokenization. I've been hinting for the last 2 months that I wanted our community to start holding onto their meth and not spend it. And I'm terrible at it because I spend it as quick as it gets in my wallet because I want to mint teens. But I think that our community is starting to realize why I was telling people that all the time, because there is definitely some other uses for methane coming. And it's important to have it in your wallet. So just pay attention. Come on in, hang out in the show. We're going to be talking about apes. We're going to be when we make the announcements on Apes, her crypto, I think we may have to go to 3
Bruh.
hours because I'm going to tell you what
No.
we're doing with tokenomics.
What?
Holy
I think
cow.
we should do Tuesday, Thursday classes. We'll have to like
Maybe.
we're gonna have to do like a subject. Like on Tuesdays, the subject is like I don't know, tokenomic weird world, and then on Thursday it's like apes and weird world. I don't know. Like
I know. It's going to be crazy. I'm telling you, the stuff that the apes are going to do, Marcus, I mean, I know you are playing the game hard and it's all about the drip, right? Dude, you just wait, man. You
I kind of
just
feel
wait.
like I know. I feel like with what the apes are going to be doing and with all that, it's going to need its own space. Like
Oh
I
my
think it's going to
God.
have to be an ape space or something. Like
All right, so it seems like they're chatting more than anything else. I think he may have alphaed out right there. I'll check back in a second to see if he drops back into any other alpha. But what I am pretty much hearing is, and let's go ahead and first.
and with the weird.
No, I can't do that. What?
Don't make me meet you.
I've been hanging out with you too long. Oh my goodness.
Anyways, it's all super cool, you guys. But yeah, if we don't have any more questions, we've been grinding at this for a couple hours now.
Okay,
and Vanessa,
cool. Yeah, that's the wrap up. Had to make sure the wrap up was there, guys, because I heard Weird Worlds and you know what I'm saying? Had to make sure it wasn't Liddy. All right. Yeah. What's the best NFT merch to sell in y'all's opinion? What do you mean by NFT merch? I'm about to sit down tonight and actually make some. I think I'm gonna stay up tonight and grind on some merch. Cuff, can we have a midday mix up NFT day? Man, if you want to, man, it's up to you, man. Hit me up. It's up to you. What is it? What? I don't know what he's talking about. That would be cool, Justin. Yeah, for sure. Apes are coming is what I keep hearing. Yeah, they won't be here till sometime next year, and then we get Weird Worlds right now currently. So essentially, what I feel like is that you know what I mean. That threw me off, Omar. Weird Worlds is kind of like that Yuga Labs other side D swag. You know what I mean? Right, that preview is critical. But yeah, you can see the floor price right now. The floor price is quite spicy. So you got it at scroll down so much. Got it at decent one. This is not a bad one. For $1,000. That's the floor price. Man, so $1,000 is the floor price for any bull. So anybody who's like, man, I'm gonna get it a little bit later, I'm gonna try to get it a little bit later, man, later is getting expensive way. Let's look at the God Bulls. And then, man, I'm not gonna lie to you, that space went long. I wasn't expecting that, but it was a lot of alpha, so we hung it out. So we got the God Bulls at 4.2 ETH. Sheesh. I know Stevie said he wanted one, man. Said Stevie is only at 4 ETH now. Remember when it was like 0.6, 0.7? Man, that's crazy. I'm actually mad I didn't get me a West. But I didn't even know I needed it. But oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Oh, and send me your ETH address. I still gotta get you that Toy Mori that you want. Congratulations. Doing 8,000 needs to want. I need a secretary and a half. I'm telling you. But send me your ETH address and I'll get that Toy Mori out to you. And congrats on that W. We will be definitely doing some more giveaways. Matter of fact, we may do a giveaway inside of this space. I'm not gonna lie to you. It depends on the turnout that we get. If we get a decent turnout, man, I'll give away another Toy Moris and we'll vibe out, rock out. You know what I mean? But if you want a God Bull, which this one right here, definitely decent. You get 4.2 ETH, which is $5,534. Yeah, and also, Baby Fat, make sure you get IP rights to the collection. You sent it to me last night. Okay, man, I need to take which inbox. Which inbox did you send it to? Didn't know I won, cuz. Thank you. Don't thank me, Omar. Yeah, man. So some let me look at the teen floor. See what we're looking at. Like I said, my bad. That was a lot of alpha. We still didn't get the answer of the ice guys. I feel like I got played. Like he danced around that question and got up out of there. Definitely. Okay. Ooh, couple basketball bulls right there. Okay. You have to do a giveaway to do a better turnout. See, I like giving things to people who like been around. You know what I mean? You put the giveaway out, then you get at least 37 people that you'll never see again, and most of them are fake profiles on 2 phones waiting on you to put that tweet through the Twitter picker. You know what I mean? Like people who organically kind of fall in is kind of what I was. I don't know. Sometimes it's beneficial, sometimes it's not. This depends. Oh, word, yeah. All right, let me see. Well, that didn't go. What didn't go smooth? What I missed? I started messing with more 3D software this evening. I was able to get the bull in the Flight Club logo to animate out the logo. Damn. That's crazy as shit. Yeah, I actually would like to. I don't even know what the hell that would look like. That'd be crazy. Yeah, that's definitely out my realm. That sounds crazy as shit, but I like it. The box are gone. Give him some boots. Yeah. I think he's talking about the hands. I don't think you wear boots on your hands, Omar. But yeah, man, that's some this project is getting crazy. The floors are getting crazy. People are making a significant amount of money. It's fun. That's the only reason why I kind of dwell on it. Tuesday, tacos. I guess it's gonna be taco and Tankonomic Tuesday, so we can get the alpha on the best way to kind of execute these things, because I like money and I feel like everybody should, you know what I mean? Like everybody should. But man, I'm not gonna hold you guys up anymore. We got 5 minutes into that Twitter space. I'm sorry that space did go a bit longer than I thought it was going to go, but it was a lot of alpha that we're gonna discuss inside of the Twitter space. Definitely tune into that. Let me go ahead and cut the music. And like I said, sorry for it being short-lived. We'll go over the market tomorrow, which we definitely need to touch on that because it did pump a little bit. But one thing I do want to say is, let me see what the view is on this. Be good that I get you guys situated. So if you see the this blue line going down, that's the downtrend line that I made a long time ago. I didn't even like place it where I wanted to. I marked it up and it looked like it's still holding up. It got rejected around that range, and then you see the significant resistance levels above ETH right now. So if it runs, it's gonna have enough volume to push past this and probably blow past that area. So we might be in situations where we have a little bit of a relief rally. It'll continue up. If it continues down, I feel like we'll have a little bit more selling pressure, and we'll probably test some of these lower levels. So we'll see how that comes out once we actually see what's going on with the FOMC meeting tomorrow. But we'll tune in tomorrow, and I'll see how that ends up going. In the meantime, you guys keep cuffing that dip, look for good support levels, and of course, remember it's beyond crypto. And try to enjoy life, man, and get outside and get into this damn Twitter space. No, I'm just playing, but no, check in, guys. It's usually pretty lit. Holler at you guys tomorrow, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your night. I'm out of here.